stuff kind of get to here. So I'm just going to ask you the softball question. What's new with United Way?
Oh, what's new? Dolly Parton Imagination Library. We are so excited because it's going to start shipping books. We think the first shipments will go out in June.
So let's talk and rehash that a little bit for folks who may not be aware of this Dolly Parton reading thing they're doing.
Yeah, it's a global program. I mean, it's been going on for quite a few years now, but new to Indiana is the opportunity to bring this program. It's now 50% of it is state funded, but what it does is it puts hands in the books of children from infant to their 5th birthday. So once a month, Dolly Parton Imagination Library ships a book to each child directly to the family. They have to sign up, but that's all they have to do. It's all free.
It's awesome.
Isn't it?
I mean, what a great concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now, are we able to kind of track how our participation is with this?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be able to track that. We've got Teresa Hammond is working with us. She's spearheading the launch of the program for us, and we'll be able to see on the backside how many families have already signed up and kind of track our progress with that. So we're kind of hoping by year 5 that we've got at least 65% of the population eligible to receive these books, that they have them in hand. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great program.
Yeah, it is a great program.
How'd you guys find out about it?
I've known about it for years. Former library director, I knew about it. So I'd heard about it, but I hadn't realized how much the program had grown over the years, and like I said, it's now in other countries as well. But we're really excited that 50% funding from the state of Indiana is a game changer.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's about getting books in the hands of kids. And so we've got donors already on the Community Foundation United Way side that have said, yep, this is important. Sign us up. We're good for that. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So I think we've got, 150 that had pre-registered. So we expect that those families will start to see them come, like I said, in June. And it's age appropriate. You can go on to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library webpage, and you can look up the list of books that they have a selection committee that makes sure that they're appropriate for that age. But if anybody has questions, they can go look them up and see what kinds of things are coming.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, what else is happening?
Well, we are launching the TriShare pilot program too. So this is that child care program where the employer, the employee, and this grant will split the cost of child care. So we were pretty excited to get a grant from the Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration to pilot this program in Marshall County. There are 3 other counties that are doing the same thing in Indiana, but we're using Michigan. Michigan has a statewide program. We have relied on our partners up there with United Way to help us get this launched rather quickly. But we have our first employer will be starting here shortly. So we're really, really glad to see that. We're going to be using an online platform. It'll take us about 30-60 days to get that fully launched, but in the meantime, we've got processes in place that will help get those funds out to people who need that kind of assistance. And we've been doing the homework on it. We know that 90% of the employers that we've talked to say that child care negatively impacts their ability to retain talent. 1 in 5 employees have 1 out of every 5 employees need child care services. We can tell that from the surveys as well. And 66% of employees say that child care assistance would help get another member of the household able to return to work. So we think this has an opportunity to make a big impact across the county. We're excited to see others come on board with it and ready to go, right?
Yeah, no kidding. That's great.
Yeah.
Michaela, what's new with you?
Well, we've been talking about housing for months now. It feels like housing,
Yeah.
housing. So we pushed out our Housing Matters series. We started having meetings in February to start conversations on what we thought the greatest housing needs were in Marshall County. And as a part of that, we sent surveys out across the county, and we were able to collect over 122 online and 41 paper surveys.
Good.
And those were a part of a housing gap analysis that is underway. We have preliminary results back, but we're going to have an event on May 30th, so the end of this month, where Michael Fortunato, who is doing the housing gap analysis, is going to present the data. So mark your calendars, May 30th at lunchtime. We're still setting up a venue, but we will have information and a survey link to RSVP, but on May 30th. He'll be presenting those results. So that'll help us narrow down what kind of the top housing needs are in our county, so we can start chipping away at those.
Good. Glad to hear that. What are some of the topics and stuff that they're talking about the housing, besides the need for? Is it like do we need like apartments that are 2 to 3 bedrooms, or what are
Yeah.
we talking about here?
Yeah, we're looking at all of that. I mean, we haven't had a chance. We're so fresh. We haven't had a chance to go through. I think it's like 26 pages in the preliminary report. But some of the things that we're looking at, like you said, we're going to be looking at, is it 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom? I mean, we're having those same conversations. We've got an integrated housing project that we hope will be moving forward here shortly. And looking at the same sort of issues there. The one thing that we found we're working kind of in partnership with the Community Foundation on this. Community Foundation had a chance to apply for some grants for housing support, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that, as we started looking at the numbers there, we were looking at the housing shortages in Marshall County, and one number that really stood out to me is there's 15,000 households needed, housing shortage of 15,000 for
That's a
St.
lot.
Joseph, Elkhart, and Marshall
Yeah, that's a
counties,
lot.
right? Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, and you think about it. I mean, you've got that battery plant coming in. You've got another major employer coming in the new Carlisle area. Well, that can impact Marshall County to a great degree as well. And so we're talking about the current shortage is 15,000. Think about what that might do as those new businesses move into the area. Anyway, in Marshall County alone, right now we've got a shortage of 1,215 housing units. 1,215. Yeah. So when we talk about some of the challenges that we see right now, it's all related, right? It's housing at every level is really what we're looking at, and you can't just solve it. It's not just low income housing. It's mid income housing. It's workplace housing. It's all of those things. We're really excited to be working with some of our regional partners. We put in a regional application as well for housing support. There's a lot of opportunity out there right now, but the work that we're doing through the housing gap analysis and through some of the initiatives with the Community Foundation at the local and regional level, those are all kind of feeding into the conversation. Yeah.
And that's not surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of needs to, and it's all when you stop and look at the bigger picture. So,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
again, I can use where I live. I live at the Centennial Crossing, north of town. That's right, exactly across from the park. Brand new stuff. When I got there over a year ago, about a year ago, nothing was filled up, and now
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It happens really
and
fast.
the age demographics I'm seeing young faces, more
Right.
and more young faces that are working in factories around town, but there's still a need. That's what's incredible. I see my complex fill up, but we're still screaming for jobs.
Right.
And so I don't know what an answer to that is. I mean, because there's so many factors and variables that go into why, we still need skilled employers, and that's a whole new subject. But I mean, the fact of the matter is it's still there, and it's a housing issue, no matter how you look at it.
Well, and to your point, I mean, is it multiple unit buildings that we need, or how does that long-term impact the community? You know, what are we doing? Are there opportunities for us to kind of address that home ownership issue as well? Construction costs right now and interest rates are a huge barrier for new house construction. But what kinds of things can we bring to the community to help address some of those issues until things start to turn around a bit, right?
Right.
So anyway, the local application, Community Foundation, what we're exploring is maybe setting up a community development corporation and a revolving loan program for low to moderate income housing solutions. And we're really looking for partners in that to get creative, right? And understand what kinds of funding sources are out there that we are maybe underutilized in Marshall County. And,
Or we just don't know exist.
yeah. What's that?
Or we just don't know it exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, we're talking options here, so I mean, this is positive that we're talking about. It's just for kind of a negative thing, you know.
Well-
at least it seems like it a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight, but it feels like we're at a place where we've got a lot of really good people coming, bringing a lot of good energy to the conversation again. So it's kind of combining that, you know we need to do something, combining that energy along with the opportunity with some of the grant resources that are out there. We mentioned the Gift 8 grant for community foundations, but there's also Ready 2.0. We think there's going to be likely a huge focus on housing with the Ready 2.0 applications too. So yeah, no better time, right, than for us to get
Absolutely.
organized and get our best thought processes together.
All right, so we got that still a little bit of a hot topic that we're working on and continuing. I love the fact
Yep.
we're finally getting feedback here.
Yeah.
And that's always been troublesome.
Right.
Every time we try to bring this topic up, we get people who don't talk about it enough or don't want to talk about it or for one reason or another. So I'm glad we're getting the feedback here, and that's because that does nothing but help us. So
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Well, it's golf season. So
Yes.
do you have your United Way golf card yet?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I need to plan family outings. I think I can get family members to meet me in Marshall County, once a month, twice a month, right?
3 or 4 times a month.
Yeah, we could do like,
I'm a golfer. I'm a golfer. I got to admit. So
yeah, so each card, you get like six plays, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
6 rounds.
6
two
rounds.
at Swan, 2 at Woodbury, and 2 at
Pretty
goodness,
Lake.
Pretty Lake. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. So
Yeah.
that's good. Plus 10% off merchandise at each location.
Yep.
I mean, it's a $200 value, people.
It is.
A $200 value. And if you got a golfer in the family, which I know a majority of us do, this is perfect. For $60,
Yeah, it's not too late for those of you who haven't gotten Mother's Day gifts yet. That
There
is
you
Sunday.
go. Yeah. I was talking, who was I talking to? Somebody at Woodbury, the manager there, and I said, "You're just shooting the breeze." And she says, "Our women's league is increased this year."
Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, that's great to hear. That's just great to hear. So there's another reason why to get that golf card, and we got it here at our studio. So make sure you stop by and pick up one, and only for $60. The donation goes to United Way. Anything else?
Yeah.
Are we good? Or?
Well, we can talk about Brian too. Yeah. So he's been out there working hard in the United Way campaign. He's been talking to Bowen Center. He's talking to Marshall County employees, and he's been on the road a lot.
Has he?
He has.
You got him working actually?
I know, it's amazing, right?
Jeez, this is
so shy.
news here. This is you should have started the show off with that.
Right. So,
We love him. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He's doing a lot with United Way right now. Just we're a year-round campaign, so our goal is to meet the needs of employers. So if if they're ready to talk to us, we're ready to talk to them. We just want to make it as easy as possible for folks to engage with United Way and support the causes that we've talked about today, but also, we know there's still needs in Marshall County, people that need assistance. We can always tell when there's an uptick because we start getting the calls directly. And so those are the kinds of things. In addition to what we've talked about today, we still got a lot of great nonprofits in our county that are doing good work and helping people out when they need it the most. And so Brian's work helps us do that.
And I want to take the moment here since you've kind of opened up the door. If you don't know what United Way does and the services that they take care of, I strongly encourage you to go online, or better yet, just stop by your office and have a sit down for a couple minutes to figure out what they do and who they take care of. And because 30 plus.
Yeah, since the pandemic, we've supported 40 plus organizations. Yeah, and it's kind of a new day for us. It kind of turned things upside down for us. COVID did.
Yeah.
So just a different. It used to be that we took applications every year and we looked at things on an annual basis. And last year we went to a quarterly review. During COVID, we were doing weekly because needs were changing so fast week to week. But we left that door open. They didn't have to reapply every week. We wanted them to do longer term planning, but we also wanted to make sure if something new was coming around and unexpected, that we were able to respond to that as well. So I can't say enough. Our state association gave us tremendous support during that time period and still does. They've been there for us to help guide through those particularly difficult times. But yeah, we're kind of figuring out what this post-COVID world looks like now. Isn't
that crazy? Because
I know
3 or 4 years ago this all took place, and we're still trying to break habits, and it's forced us to be more creative in what we do in our daily lives, and especially when it comes to work. I don't know, it's just crazy. Sooner or later we're going to have to quit using COVID as an excuse, but facts are facts.
Yeah, it is. And it can be a catalyst, too. I mean, it's we were actually coached to look for those opportunities to do things in a different way and kind of focus. Clearly enough challenges, but there's also opportunity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we rethink how we're doing things, and can we do better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's always, everything changes, it seems, month to month, and needs change month to month. And, you can also, too, by the way, use United Way as, a place to leave your legacy, when it comes down to it. And that's an easy process as well.
Yeah, so actually our partnership with the Community Foundation makes that really easy. In fact, we know some United Ways are fully funding the operations for their organizations through endowment funds, right? On an annual basis, they get a distribution. Somebody made that legacy gift, or, collectively, it could be a number of people made that legacy gift, but we invest the principal, and the earnings from that are helping to help to pay for the operating costs for the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And can be built, again, to do more than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scholarships and all that other good stuff that comes out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Gosh, we already spent a half hour. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
You guys have a lot to do at a month time. Michaela, anything else you want to squeeze in?
I think we covered it.
I think we did. We're good at that when you guys come over here. We take care of business, baby.
That's right.
We don't fool around. We get the job done. Well, thanks for coming in, ladies.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you back here in a month and finding out new stuff and updates on everything that's going on. And if you want to find out more, you guys got an awesome website.
We sure do. And we've got our intern with us now for the summer, Sophie McLaughlin. So
All
she's
right.
busy working away.
You're
Yep.
going to bring her next month?
We can do
We
that.
can do that.
Yeah, we'll put her on the spot. We'll put her on the spot. We can do that.
She is a ray of sunshine every day. So,
Awesome. All right. Thanks, girls.
all right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment here on the Max Morning Show and Marshall County Today.